Jitendra Singh. I welcome you to read my story where I interview authors, speakers, coaches, celebrities, entrepreneurs and more. Today I have with me Mr. Vijay Prakash. He is the co-author of Amazon's #1 bestseller Slumdog Investor. He is a co-founder director of GVD Wealth Professional Pvt Limited. He has done BE Mechanical and has more than 16 years of experience in stock market. He is one of the co-creator of the 5-minute pro trader system, which helps to trade in stock market in just 5 minutes. In the past 12 months, he has received many awards and recognition on various platforms across the nation for his contribution to increasing the financial literacy in the country. He is on mission to create 1 million professional traders by 2030. Today, he will be discussing with us about his life journey. So let us hear from him. Welcome, Vijay. The platform is open and now over to you.
Thank you, Jitendra ji, and thank you, viewers. It's a really honor and privilege, Jitendra ji, for inviting me for this particular interview. And I will ensure that in next 30 to 45 minutes, what I have, I should be able to share my story and my journey with all of you. And if I can, be a help of somebody who is just starting or on the way, if you are stuck, it'll be great. So
thank you so much for coming, and it will be pleasure to have you. So first thing I'd like to know from you is how did your past life affected the person who you are and what you wanted to be in your life?
Well, I come from a state called as Bihar, and the generation which I belong to, most of the people either wanted to become an engineer or a doctor or IS.
Right.
So this was the thought process there, and I come from an entrepreneur background family. So my dad was in job, and then he established his business, which ran pretty well for almost a decade before we lost it to a recession okay. In year I think around 2000. And so pretty much the idea was to become an engineer and then do masters and then become IS. So that is the kind of background we were brought into, and get into government job. वहाँ का थोड़ा सा typical mindset होता है, तो that is what is the background. मतलब सोचने का मौका नहीं दिया जाता था,
Right.
Engineer बनना है, फिर masters करेंगे जाके IIT से, और फिर UPSC लिखेंगे.
Only 3 options are there. Either be an engineer, be a doctor, or
that's the thinking in 90s in Bihar.
Right. That is wonderful. And how you got into stock trading and stock market investments?
That's a long story actually. So what happened was because I was from an entrepreneurial background.
Right.
Dad was an entrepreneur, and around 2000 I was in 3rd year of my engineering, and this is when we got this news that we have in a way lost our company to recession. And that 3rd year of engineering, fees भी पे करना था, तो वो भी थोड़ा मुश्किल ही हो रहा था उस साल. तो वहाँ से थोड़ा सा entrepreneur का कीड़ा मुझे भी लगा, and what I did was I had to support myself. और उस समय क्या था कि computer was just evolving year 96-97.
Correct.
And it was like कि computer lab में if you have to go, then you have to take off your shoes and chappal and then enter like a temple, And what I saw, everybody was fearful at that point of time, and this is where I had to support myself, and I was very good in programming. C++ में काफी अच्छा था मैं. So what I did was I actually started educating my junior, तो जो लोग भी मैं 3rd year engineering में था उस time पे, and I started educating my juniors, and I could support myself that year with the help of that,
Right.
तो वैसे ये शुरू हुआ, and entrepreneur वाला कीड़ा जिसे कह सकते हैं. And then I finished my engineering, and after engineering it was year 2000, and though I was good in programming or something like that, could not go for higher courses and all those things because of financial
issues
at home. At home, and there was also जितना मुझे आता था, तो technology change, Java आ गया उस time पे, and 2000 2000, 2001 was a dot-com bubble crashed, and then Twin Tower.
Correct.
So for a couple of years, no job, So I worked as a lecturer in some of the engineering colleges and things like that. Tried to set up a small software company which didn't run. So उस समय ऐसा लगता था कि am I the unlucky one, right? Because I was very good in programming. When nobody knew programming, I was doing those C++ things. So वैसा लगा. So I would say I have been an explorer. एक तो because I come from a bit of an entrepreneurial background. So what I learned there, which I can relate in stock market today also, was my father established the company, and whatever money he made, everything was there in the company, right?
Right.
So concept like don't put all your egg in your one basket.
Correct.
I learned it very early, and there was no stop loss, of course, because it was your company into recession.
Right.
So pretty much subconscious level पे शायद learning वहीं पे हो गई थी. But I have been an explorer all my life, and this is where I think I stumbled sometime in year 2005-6 that everybody wants to make money, and I stumbled into it. Went for one of the training program. Good thing about me is I went for a training program in very early part of my career. That helped me a bit. So to make some little extra money, I got into
there
it.
was your journey started in the stock market and all.
Right.
Wonderful. So wonderful. So if I talk about your passion, what are the things you are passionate about in your life?
What are the things which I'm passionate about? As I said, I like variety. So of course, stock market is something about which I can just go on and on. But training has been my passion. So even I got into corporate. I worked in corporate job for almost a decade, and I work in the field of something called as a Six Sigma, which is also known as a quality control.
Right.
And I have worked there's a term called as a black belt. There are various certification: yellow belt, green belt, black belt. So I was into that. And most of the time I have worked for the MNCs for their projects. So I believe training was my passion. It is my passion. Apart from that, if you ask extracurricular, I am a voice artist. I am a very good mouth organ and a synthesizer player. And whenever I get time, I do that.
Wow, that is wonderful. So amazing. So you are into stock trading kind of a thing, which is full of stress, anxiety, tension. And on the other hand,
that is where once we come to 5-minute pro trader, we have simplified it. Tension lene ke
if we talk about this industry as a whole, it seems to be like that only. So on the other hand, you are kind of creative person who have hobbies and interests, passion related to singing and kind of instrumental using instrument. That is wonderful. So if I talk about your work and experience, like you already mentioned some part of it, but it's still about your corporate journey and how you started your business. So what was your professional journey looked like?
So I started, you can say my corporate journey started in year 2005 with one of the MNCs, and I worked there for 2 years and then moved on to another company, another known MNCs. I'll tell you what happened is, see, you will get opportunity in life, and sometimes you have to grab it without preparation. Most of the people don't grab the opportunity because they think they are not prepared, and sometimes you will be forced into it. So I would not say I grabbed that opportunity, so what happened, this Six Sigma thing, how it came up for me was, there was somebody senior who was supposed to take the role of this black belt. There is a certification called as a black belt, but he denied. And because my boss had committed that he's going to send somebody from his team, so though I was at a junior level, still I was in a way forced into it. But what happened, now I had a choice to say no, but what happened, I just accepted it because it was a more of a dual kind of a role, and you are like, अगर यहाँ success नहीं हुआ तो दूसरा तो है ही मेरे पास करने के लिए.
Correct. Another opportunity to learn and explore.
Yeah, but what happened, being a junior also, I got a chance to interact with a VP level people and CEO, CXO kind of people.
Right.
So although that fear is there, but you can say because you are forced, so you are forced to take action.
Correct.
One is the willingly you take action, and another is you are forced to take action.
Right.
And that association, because you see how these VPs behave, how these AVPs and CXO behave, their way of talking there. So those things I picked up little early, So that is how it started. And then in my corporate career, I would have trained 10,000 plus people in my organization.
Wonderful.
In stint of my 12 years, finished all possible certifications in the company.
Great.
Was doing pretty good. The only problem there was the limitation. So because I was in stock market, so money was good from stock market and money was coming from the job. And job job was very comfortable. I kind of, you can say, I was blessed to have that job because you had a WFH option, 3-4 hours you go to office. So pretty much, but somewhere what was happening, it was all about me.
Right.
So once you start going to these so-called, this self-help ka keeda jab lag jata hai aapko, so you know that life is not about you, right? It is about contribution.
Correct.
And that is where 2018, what happened was, I think 17, 18, what happened was things were going great, but something started pinching that, it's just about you, or if 40 plus bhi ho gaya tha, to laga ki abhi nahi karoge to kab karoge.
Correct.
So financially we were prepared and we just walked off from our jobs. So I have my partner Darshan Rao. So I and Darshan used to work in the same company, and we said, let's do something of our own. Correct. And by the time we were writing our books, and we published our book, and with the grace of God, it hit Amazaon #1 best-selling list and things like that. And this is how we began our journey of entrepreneur.
You and your partner are co-author of the book as well as the co-founder of the company.
Co-founder of the company as well, yeah.
Wonderful. That is so great. So if I talk about the most important life lessons you have learned from your personal and professional life, what are those?
Don't wait for opportunity, I would say. Keep upgrading yourself. That is something I believe is very, very important. Keep upgrading yourself. So with me, I think what has worked very well is my passion towards learning something new. So I'll tell you some of the habits which I developed in my early days. I came across a book by Tony Robbins, Awaken the Giant Within. And while studying him, what I got to know that his trunks were full of books. When he was working like a janitor, that time also his trunk of the car was full with the books. And from there I picked up this habit of reading almost 20 years ago. And the habit was, you got to read 10 pages of a book every single day, otherwise no dinner.
Correct. So you should form some kind of a habit or
discipline, right?
Discipline.
So that habit I have cultivated almost 22 years ago, and that habit has paid off really well.
Wonderful.
And once you start exploring the things, I'm truly believer of a law of attraction. So then these all people also started coming to India. Like I got a chance to meet Brian Tracy, Jack Canfield, Dr. John DeMartini, Les Brown, Robert Kiyosaki, physically, So physical meeting with those people. So all those programs really kindle the fire of, contribution to the society and to the people, and go and change life. It's not about you. So everything I would say sum total of everything. I would say if I don't know at what level you guys are who is listening to it, but I think my mentor Harvekar says 10% of your income you should put in your learning.
Correct. That is the only thing which can keep you going.
Yeah.
And that is so really wonderful. Your personal example of how you started reading book on a daily basis and how it pays off to you is really wonderful, because I also started this habit, kind of a partial habit I would say, because I don't do read daily basis. I do keep on exploring things on internet or kind of a thing, but I still try to learn something new on daily basis. So that is one thing I also follow, and whosoever have tried this really paid off well to them, and they are doing great in their life. That is one wonderful thing. So if I talk about your vision, mission and goal in your life for next 5 to 10 years from now, what do you think that should be?
So I will continue to do what I am doing, and past 1 year, 1 year we have trained close to 35,000 plus people on the subject of stock market, and we'll continue to do that. Of course, new programs, new dimensions are gonna come, and by 2030 I'm aiming at creating 1 million pro trader. लोगों को ये बोलना चाहिए ना कि मेरे को डॉक्टर इंजीनियर नहीं बनना, मेरे को प्रो ट्रेडर बनना है. That example I want to set.
Right.
When people see you, they aspire to become you. You got to become a desirable कि people will say यार इसके जैसा बनना है मुझे.
Correct. And the thing is, when we get into trading or when we get into investing, what I have seen is most people, including me, don't have any kind of basic learning and any kind of basic knowledge about the stock market, about the investing. But I, being a banker, I was fortunate enough to learn those things during my stint with the bank. But people who are not into that kind of a role or responsibility, they don't get into those things well. So they make or they suffer with the losses. So that is what I like to highlight and understand from you, like when somebody is coming or entering the market as an investor or a trader in the stock market, so what are the basic things they must take care of the point in time when they are entering? So this is what I'd like to know from you.
So treat stock market like learning a car, right? So any new thing which you do, right, you need a driver's license.
Correct.
कहीं भी license चाहिए. Unfortunately, stock market में क्या है, without license you can enter.
Right.
So the learning is going to be in 4 phases. So first stage is called as you are incompetent and you are unaware that you are an incompetent person.
Correct.
Right? Unconscious incompetent, which is okay. Now you are not into stock market. Now once you enter into stock market, now you are aware that you are incompetent, as you pointed it out.
Correct.
So definitely you need a training very, very similar to how to drive a car.
Correct.
So although there is no authority to give you license, but at least you should know how to drive a car. Similarly, you should know, are you trading or are you investing? Are you gonna be a trader or are you gonna be an investor?
Correct.
So I would highly recommend that you take the knowledge. Now you can take the knowledge on your own by skimming through the books, but to me, stock market is more like swimming. You know, you cannot learn swimming by reading books.
Correct.
You have to get into the water. Similarly, you cannot learn stock market reading books. So you got to get into it. You got to get into a training program, coaching program, get a knowledge of it, and then once you keep doing it, so unconscious incompetent to conscious incompetent to conscious competent. Once you get trained, then you are conscious competent.
Correct.
Now if you have knowledge, it does not mean that you are an expert. So when you keep doing it, keep refining those things again and again, then you come to a level which is called as a subconscious and competent. When things are automatic, like you go pick up a trade. I mean, I cannot explain this how it happens, but you go take a look and you know that okay, this is something which is right.
Correct.
Still, you won't be right 100%, but in stock market, even if you're right 60%, still you will make money.
That's true.
You know, so I would say follow this, realize where you are. If you are not knowing anything, I think it's a time for you to realize that you are an incompetent person in terms of stock market. Become a conscious competent by some training, and then keep refining, and you will reach one day to that pro trader level.
Right. So that is really wonderful thing you have mentioned, because learning is the key to any success, anything, whatever you do. That is the first thing you should do. Then you can like have somebody as a mentor who can guide you, who have richer experience in terms of trading and investing. So you can join somebody who can be your mentor. And third thing is like start doing small trades that will give you a learning experience, and gradually you will become better day by day. So that will help you to understand the market as a whole. So unless you get into the market, you would not learn the actual trading, how it happens. So that is really a wonderful thing you have mentioned. So you also work on like you have mentioned 5-minute strategy when we were talking about the investing and all, and you are teaching this in your programs as well as open forums also. So I want to understand like what exactly is 5-minute strategy which you teach and how it can help the new investors.
So 5-minute strategy, I'll give you a background around the 5-minute strategy. So I and Darshanji were there in the market for many years, and then we thought the major problem why people don't come to the market, you know, especially people who are in corporate like us.
Right.
So major problem is time, because when you think of a trading, what people think is 9:30 it starts and 3:30 it is going to end, and you have to be in front of the computer.
Correct. You have to be in front of computer screen throughout the day. Correct. This is what people see.
This is the reason which stops corporate people to come to this particular space. So we thought, can there be a solution to this? And then we came up with this idea of 5 minutes, and this approach is called as a 325. When 5 minutes before market is going to close, this is where you go pick up the trade. So we train you in such a way that you identify. So our whole idea is we support them for 2 months while they are learning, and it's like they can just go and while they are learning, they can copy our trades and they can analyze how we do it. And within 2 months, most of them are independent and they are able to identify their own trades. So we don't put them into risky instruments like a future and option, intraday, those kind of things, because that requires screen time. But the whole approach is such that 325 is like a Brahma Muhurat, where you have to go take the trade and your target, and you can expect a profit of 5% in 5 to 10 days and profit of 10% in 15 to 20 days, that kind of approach. So we are we have simplified it. Actually, people say you don't call it a 5 minute, less than 1 minute.
Great. That is really wonderful. So that's really nice. And if I talk about a person who is entering into the market, like I already asked you and you only answered some of the things. So if he is or she is going to take a trade or an investment, so what are the basic things they should keep in consideration while taking the trade or while making the investment? Or also one more thing, like when we talked about trade and investing, what is the basic difference between both of the terms?
So I'll take the second question first and then answer the first part later. So
Sure.
Trading is what you do for making a source of income, right? So there are multiple income streams, out of which most of the people, when you say, they get only job income, right?
Right.
So trading you do to make an extra source of income. I always give this example that let us say you want to pay a raise. So if you really see people who have got a salary of ₹1,00,000 a month, and if they get a hike in hand, अगर आप देखोगे तो वो 4-5 हज़ार रुपया,
Correct.
right? जो है. But if you think of a trading, somebody has got a capital of let's say ₹2,00,000. If he has a good strategy, this kind of money he can make aram se. Let's say example of a 5-minute rotator system, like 2% if you grow your capital, 4,000-5,000 rupees you can make aram. So that's the power. So trading you do for additional income, and investing you do to create a generational wealth. A lot of people get confused with investing, short-term investing, long-term investing. So investing has to be tied up to goals. So you are only going to withdraw the money when you have to meet your goals. So you will have your financial goal, बच्चे का education है, शादी है बेटी की, things like that. So investing is for generational wealth. Ultimately, you build a portfolio and finally you are going to pass on to your next generation.
So simple terms, we can say it is for long term.
Yeah.
Right. So we can fix up some of the goals, like maybe education, maybe wealth, maybe like 5 to 10 years from now.
A lot of things.
For house, that could be one thing.
Your financial goals, retirement planning, buying of a house, world travel, daughter's marriage, son's education, you are going to list down, and basically you are going to build a corpus, and from that corpus you are going to take out your money to meet those financial goals.
So keep money there and forget for that point in time, like that period of time.
You keep building. You keep building your corpus.
Trading, that is kind of constant thing, like which we do on and off.
I would recommend SIP करके ही आपको invest करना चाहिए. So you will have your fixed income which is going towards building this corpus.
Right.
So first you build the corpus, and that corpus will take care of you for the rest of your life.
That's really important, because when you start investing small amount and for a longer period, the returns would be immense. And compounding effect. And when we talk about trading, it is kind of a thing like or activity which you can do on a daily or maybe twice in a day or maybe a weekly basis kind of.
No. The way we teach is only once in a day for 5 minutes. That's all.
Right. That is really an important thing. We should understand and we should abide by our own like rules. We should set our rules that we should be focusing on these type of stock or maybe these type of timings or whatever we put up things in a way.
I'll tell you something interesting. So what happens is, especially if you see recently after this war and everything has happened, so market will fall, right? Right now from the 18,000 level, it fell to 15,000 and again it is recovering a bit. So people will send you message, sir, market is falling. What am I supposed to do? So first rule is you are not supposed to see the market. So I'm like, follow the rule. That's my reply, general reply. Follow the rules. Because everything is preset.
Correct.
I have built a system in such a way, we have close to 700 plus community members and everybody has got my WhatsApp number. Imagine these 700 people will start sending you a message every single day. My life will be miserable.
Correct.
But hardly 1 or 2 people will send me a message because rules are preset. The moment they ask the question, please follow the rules.
So that is
coming back to the second aspect of your question, that what are some of the things they should take care. So my whole thing in the entire investing and trading is you always keep 30% of your money in trading and 70% of your money should be in investment. I will call it a 30T and 70I formula, so that your exposure on trading is going to be less. Other thing is you got to define how much loss are you ready to take. So in our system, the loss is limited to 5%.
Okay.
Because capital preservation is more important than capital appreciation.
That is really important because if you lose your capital, like how you would gonna recover that?
Yeah. So one our method actually caps it to 5%, and maximum, the rule what we have set is the day your portfolio is down by 11%, that day you have to exit the market.
Okay.
So always in this system, your 89% of the money is intact if you not violate the rule. If you violate the rule, then there is a problem. So we never ever go beyond 11%. That's the ultimate rule.
Right. And that is really wonderful to have rules and follow them.
So your risk, your capital management, you are not going to put your all egg in one basket. So we have made something called as the 20 bucket rule, where you will divide your capital into 20 parts and you will trade with one part. So all those things are preset: your capital management, your risk management, your money management. If these are intact, your chances of 95% people don't make money, 95% people don't make money in stock market.
Correct.
They rather lose. Why? Because the framework is not there. Structured learning.
Correct. They don't follow the structured approach, first thing. And they don't follow their own rules as well.
Correct. I'll give you a classic example of this. Okay. So what happened is, people will message me, sir, market gir raha hai, please follow the rules. So then sometime what they will do is we give a stop loss, something called as a stop loss with every trade. So they don't follow the stop loss. Now when you don't follow the stop loss, you go for averaging of a stock, which means rebuying it again. So they average it. Now after averaging, they again don't calculate the stop. Then their portfolio is in a loss of 20%. And then say what to do now. So you will get into soup only when you're not following the rules. Otherwise, I don't see a reason why somebody will not make money.
Correct. That is really important, to follow rules, to set rules first, then follow them, and have a strategic approach for investing and trading, both.
Absolutely.
So if I, now coming back to you again, if I talk about you, are you an introvert or an extrovert while facing your audience? And what are the pluses and minuses of the same?
Okay. So by nature, I am an introvert person. I'm my best friend. And of course, as a business owner, you got to be extrovert. So I would recommend anybody who is an introvert, they should read this book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Necessary for
Wonderful book.
And I think I have been associated with a couple of network marketing company in early days. That also played a very vital role in terms of me becoming extrovert, because again, those force things, you have to go and talk every meeting on stage and all those things. So they help. I think I would give a lot of contribution to these early trainings on network marketing platforms in my life.
Correct. Network marketing companies, they teach you a lot.
They do. I think your real MBA happens there. Although right now I'm not associated with any of the network marketing company, but given a choice to me, maybe sometime in future.
Wonderful. So if I talked about people who supported you in your journey the most, who were those people?
I think there are many, I would say, but of course family comes first. I have a beautiful wife and 13-year-old, so they are the ones, and my parents also stay with me. I'm blessed that my parents stay with me still. So definitely family is a big support. My business partner, Darshan Rao. Then I have my marketing guy. His name is Ankit Singh. So I was on a vacation last week, being my anniversary, and these guys were here building things because we have new launches coming in.
Correct.
So I'm able to delegate a lot of things to these people, and they take care in my absence.
Correct. Having a wonderful team is kind of a best thing for your business.
They are asset, big asset.
Right. So if I talk about motivation and inspiration, who are the things, or what are the things you got motivated or inspired from, or who are the people whom you got inspired or motivated from?
See, I'll give you one guru mantra of entrepreneurship. Okay, if you are somebody who needs some motivation and inspiration all the time, you cannot go very long.
Correct.
So motivation वो वाले लोग होते हैं जिनको डेली पंप मारना पड़ता है, जाओ.
Right.
इंस्पिरेशन वाले लोग जो होते हैं वो थोड़ा लॉन्ग लास्ट करते हैं. अभी जैसे एग्जांपल के लिए मैं अभी रॉकेटरी देख के आया, तो लाइक ओके इंस्पिरेशन, तो जब तक वो इफेक्ट है तब तक चलेगा.
Correct.
See, what you got to do is you got to take this knowledge and you got to transform in such a way that you don't need this motivation and inspiration.
Right.
And especially when you are at the top, right? You got to be an example for others.
Correct. Then you have
if
to
you
motivate
are starting,
and
I can
inspire
understand.
people.
So when I am at a level, I can talk from here. But if you are starting, get to this phase as quickly as possible.
Correct.
Other thing is, whenever you go, when we go to a coaching program or a training program, you got to empty your cup. क्योंकि क्या होता है ना कि जब आप सेल्फ हेल्प के पाथ पे जाते हो, तो आपको लगता है अब तो मुझे दूसरों से ज्यादा आता है, एंड फिर वो ईगो बिल्ड होने लगता है, राइट? तो आपने करना ये है कि अपने ईगो को, रिमेंबर वन थिंग, ओके, यू कैन नॉट हैव अ ईगो एंड अ मनी एट द सेम टाइम.
राइट.
या तो आपके पास पैसा होगा या ईगो होगा. तो सॉरी बोलना सीखिए, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है ये. और हम हस्बैंड्स को तो जल्दी आ जाता है ये, ऐसे भी अगर आप तो सॉरी बोलना सीखिए, ईगो को बिल्कुल जमीन पे रखिए. एंड आई थिंक लीडरशिप को जब मैं देखता हूँ ना, I take this inspiration from one of the CEO of Pepsi. You know, he always used to draw the org structure उल्टा. You know, ऐसे आप देखोगे ना, टॉप पे CEO रहता है और फिर नीचे org structure है, इसको उल्टा कर दो. तो you are at the bottom to support all these people, and you got to be grounded all the time. So once you invert this whole thing, you know, I think then that's a true leader.
Correct.
And a true leader will always need to have a serving heart.
Correct. That is the place where you explore yourself more.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. So
I would just give one lesson to your viewers for leadership, which is get so busy in getting recognition for your people so that you don't have time to seek recognition about yourself.
Correct. True. This is really a wonderful thing. This is appropriate for all leaders. If they start following this thing, then definitely things would be on a much bigger scale. So if I talk about your take on success, what do you think, how it looks like to you?
I think success is a journey, not a destination. That's a very old proverb, and the definitions are going to vary from time to time. But I really don't measure success as such, though we create our visibility. But I think the more you serve, you know, because all of us are going to have one final day on this planet.
Correct.
Now, once you are gone, how many life became better because you existed? That will be the measure of success. Finally, तो दीवार पे टंगना ही है ना. तो दीवार पे टंगने से पहले आपने कितने लाइफ को इम्पैक्ट कर लिया, you know, ताकि लोग थैंक यू बोले, आपका नाम ले ना भी ले. तो अगर I think there, I believe in Supreme God Divine. If he is there, he is going to say कि बहुत अच्छा काम कर गया है.
Well done. That is really a wonderful thing. So any message, advice you'd like to share with our audience, viewers and listeners?
हाँ बिल्कुल, कुछ हिंदी में शेयर कर देता हूँ ताकि थोड़ा याद रहे भी लोगों को कि wherever you are, सोच को बदलोगे तो सितारे बदल जाएंगे, सोच को बदलोगे तो सितारे बदल जाएंगे, नजर को बदलोगे तो नजारे बदल जाएंगे, मंजिलों को पाने के लिए कश्तियों का बदलना नहीं है जरूरी, दिशाओं को बदलोगे तो किनारे बदल जाएंगे.
True. That is so wonderful and so meaningful too. If people start following these things, small things which are written by so many wonderful authors, poets, they would definitely gonna make a huge impact in their own life. And when they create that kind of impact in their own life, definitely they would be able to create impact on others' life as well. That is really wonderful thing. And the insights you have shared about the stock market investing were really wonderful. Your 5-minute strategy, I'd also would love to learn that. And the basic things you have shared with us was really amazing. And people, if start following them, they will definitely make money. And this is the objective of yours as well as mine, that people should make money from stock market and investing. And the kind of discussion we had was really wonderful, and I was willing to know more about these things in much more detail. Probably we will do the further discussion next time. And I was really enjoyed the session, and looking forward to hear more from you again soon. Thank you so much, Vijay, for your time. It was awesome having you here on our platform, and looking forward to it again soon.
Thank you so much, Jitendra ji, for inviting me. And if like any of the things, I always say this: pick up 3 things and try to implement in your life. And that's what I do always when I go for a program or whatever. You know, just pick up 3 things which you can implement, and I'm sure you will find those 3 things in this particular discussion, and you will implement.
Right.
Very important.
Definitely. And also I would be sharing your social media links, website link, and your book link, so that people can be in touch with you, take your help, guidance, attend your program, so that they can learn basics into stock market and investing. So guys, don't forget to check that out too. Thank you so very much everyone for watching and listening. I hope you all must have gathered a lot of information and enjoyed watching it. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Have a good time. Thank you and bye-bye.